we'll get all set up. I need to do that. Guess we only did one chapter. Because we didn't go for 8 hours. And then make sure that I get chat up here real quick for the new live stream. Like so. Okay. That's good. Let's make sure that you come up correct the new Mongoose edition, right? Just want to make sure that it's easy for people to find the things that they want to find, right? Good UX takes a little effort. Sometimes. Because I need to be in Editorland. And we'll go over here. Okay. So. Let's see here. Where were we? This is why I want to get this taken care of. Because. Some more what? That. Dang, it's hot out today, you guys. I'm sure you can tell. I look all glistening, shiny. We were in the process. You get a widget in here that communicates which connections would be affected and which would be totally broken by this removal. Because we're working on removing this tag. That's right. Okay, so we're looking at. That's why I wanted to get on this, because I'm already. There's a distinct lack of monads. Yeah, it's all less nads. Because we're looking at tag editor and our ability to delete a tag such as portal. Now, if portal is referenced in any other things, we need to throw up a thing that says, hey, that's a problem. And we're doing this in app state because that's the only place we have access to other maps. Like, what tags do y'all have? And we clean some of this up. We had the ability to remove it from our tag map. But did we? These get used when we delete stuff, right? Is that how we did this? Yeah, when we're clearing them, we take the connection out of the tag maps. We don't have to track them anymore. And then if the tag map for a tag is empty, that tag is no longer used in this map, so we remove it there. Okay. So we don't have removing it from other things yet because we were doing stuff in here. So if we were to, yeah, okay, that's right. We were setting up this screen, except we were kind of like trying to figure out how to make this nicer to do, right? And doing a route, I mean, it kind of works. I feel like there was a reason that we weren't doing something else with this, but I don't remember what it was. Possibly because we're already in a modal here, so that we can't do another modal. Is that true? Add controller, connection data form. When we do our edit stuff, it's you. We used an alert dialog here. And parent context mounted because you take parent context. What if we were to just like experiment for our own sake? If this is not, then so this is return, but we need to remember how the call to that goes, because there's a call to show it, right? Enter message may not be blank, but tags right here, set form field tags, tag edit modal. It's returned on pressed. And just you being an alert dialog is enough to make you pop. Maybe. What if we tried that just for fun? No, I'm gotta be missing something here. I get it. No. It's show dialogue. That's what I'm missing. That's why. Okay. And then inside of show dialogue, we need a context. So we might still need this actually, to make sure that the parent context of app state, because we won't have a context in here because you're a provider unless we pass it in. We can close the parent context if statement there. Show dialogue, and then over here is parent context. We need a builder, which should just be a layout builder, right? That's what we did over here. over here rather. So a layout builder that has a builder, which is a build context, box constraints, which returns an alert dialog. So close that. I need to also close you. Can be assigned to the parameter type widget builder. Why not? Bet you it's because you're inside of here. But that's fine. Like, I'm not mad about that. Like, what if we just did we want to be Dart friendly here. Tag remove view. Let's just say. And I guess we can put you into widgets. That's fine. And we can probably copy styling and stuff from here, maybe. I don't think this one needs to be stateful. Not that. Material needs to come in so that I can let's actually move error view. We'll change it in a second here. Stateless should be sufficient for you because we're gonna have list string that is the we can't do that. It won't be a list of strings. It'll be a list of connection datas, I think. Oh, you're not recording yet. Let's do that. We need this, that, require you. What am I missing? This dot. Like so, you should be a const. You should be spelled correctly for fun. We'll do a build, like so. And then we can copy this, this part. Actually, all the way to here, I think, and repurpose this. This can be a column. This needs to be closed. Nope, not you. Close that. You're supposed to close that, but I'm missing one of those to close you. There we go. I thought you needed. No, I'm missing that. That. What am I forgetting about Dart? Content column. Because this is not that. That we need to close the column. Close the alert dialog. That gets that. And then we're there. All right. So a method. You are initialized. You're initialized right here. Why? Oh, you can't be a consummate? What's going on here? What am I forgetting? Have I forgotten literally all the Dart I know? Immediately. Extends. Final list. Connection data. Conflicting tiles. Super key. Acquired this. Conflicting tiles. You're a const. What's going on here? Named key parameter, but you do. Do I have to shouldn't have to do that. I don't need list there though, either. I'm making some kind of a silly mistake, and I'm gonna kick myself when I find it. Like, you shouldn't matter. You shouldn't need to be there. Extend state. Is this incorrect? Where's the stateless widget? Stateful. Stateful. You're a controller. Am I just declaring this completely wrong? Um, Stateful widget. Stateless widget. Yeah. Editor. Extend. Oh, nope. Extend stateless widget. What the hell? I've got a final. You want to be an empty, you can be an empty, I guess. Visible type name. Well, yeah. What's going on? Why can't I have modify? What? I have to have final there. That's important. You need to be imported. That's true. It's like my constructor is just not being recognized. Did I? I'm dumb. I told you. I told you. I was going to find the reason. I was going to kick myself. I am now kicking myself. I was so confused. So confused. Oh my gosh. Anyway, now we've got our pop button with an icon close in it. So then over here, let's just try to say show dialog. We return tag remove error view. And for now, connection data, just an empty list is fine. Except for our builder here now needs to be not a return. I still can't do that. Can't be assigned to the parameter type widget builder. But over here, I was able to, in connection model, you take like 2 weeks off a language and suddenly you forget everything. Not connection model, you dummy. The form. Tags right here. Tag selector. A bulletin. You have oh my gosh, I was just looking at you. I get him over. Here you are, right here. Deep. Overlooked. Okay. Icon button on pressed, show dialog. Is that because, yeah, maybe it's that. Is it because you're not called like that? Context. Oh, I still do need a. Still need to build context like this, and then I can return you. Okay. There we go. That's what I was missing. That got put in the wrong place. That got dropped along the way. There we go. And then you close there. Okay, so now I can return this widget, but I need to. I think this will work. Okay, yeah, we can pop up over. Okay, perfect. I like this much better. In a lot of ways, right? Let's throw that there just so we have it. And we didn't really do anything in here. That's fine. In our tag edit, or rather our tag error, tag move view, here we go. Rename this while we're here. Remove error view. Or remove, let's call you remove conflict. Let's do that. What? It didn't work. That was a bad refactor. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then when we do this, we do a row. I don't actually want a row. I want a column here instead. There won't be space between on the main axis. Well, actually, there will be. Because inside of here, we're gonna have another column eventually. Okay. Yeah. And I suspect that part of this also, because you're still kind of huge. Um, edit tags. Call you that. Okay, yeah, this is not hot reloading into there. That's fine. Back to the engine work. Yep. Back to the editor anyway. Um, so this is not hot reloading. Which is annoying. Still edit text. What? Oh, because you didn't refactor when I changed your name. Okay. Still not though. You need to be imported. There we go. There we go. Tag conflicts. All right. Okay. Um, inside of here, we're gonna want. Oh wait, no, we did. Oops. I'm dumb. This is this is the title field. This is what we do want for the body. That is true. But this should go back to the row. That shouldn't matter. This shouldn't matter. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's more what I kind of want. We're gonna do the space between here still because inside of here, we're gonna have two widgets. We're gonna have another column for the conflicting tiles, but except for we're gonna have to build widgets for them to display this. For now, we're gonna do this. Conflicting tiles. Um, we won't have. Just do two string on them for now. I think we did. Did we give you a string? No, we didn't. Okay. Um, but what we're gonna actually get in here, you have the ability to grab the connection tile itself. We're gonna want to know connection data is going to be correct. We're going to do we're going to reuse connection data form is what we're going to reuse. That'll take care of this. And you just take a connection. So and then you need to get imported like so. We don't need that. Probably need a comma. And nothing's getting passed in just yet, but we can fix that in our app state when we go through here. Connections using this tag is a list of connection data. We go through, we add everything here so we can already pass in what we have collected up like so. As we collect them from our body. And that is going to show us nothing yet. Whoop. That ain't good. Because it doesn't have the state. Wait. Rectified or map state above this connection. Okay. Because connection data form listens to the map state. Ooh, that's a problem. Because that's how it does its modifications. Okay. That's probably fine though. Because this was gonna have a lot of things we weren't gonna care about. Um what if we switch this up? Uh we can make another widget and it'll only be useful here. Takes a connection data. Super key. This con data. This is going to be required. That's fine. Override widget build context. You're going to really want to return a row. Think. So our connection data. You Oh yeah, you do know your location by virtue of oh, you might not. You might not know your location. And if you did, you'd only know the ID. I'm gonna do this. Well, I need to give you a callback for deleting the tag anyway. That's fine. We can do... What can we do? We could put the origin in the data as we understand it in memory. And then we'll be able to refer back to it. That won't really help us here. We'd have to give it a callback for resolving the name, which seems silly. When we could just put more information into something else, right? Into like what we pass in instead of doing a callback. Because we already know it at the point of when we're here. We just need a different kind of data structure here. And we could... We'd have to do something else here as we built it. But we could do that. We'd have to then, if we did it that way, we'd still have to populate the origin, at the very least, field in memory, which is fine. Is that going to break other things, though? Same map connection is what we depend on here, which just cares about equality, so that should be fine. So in map controller, when we read in our connections, which is in inflate map, inflate, go through here. If you're a room data, we do that. And actually, it's above here. Connection ID is connection. Add connection to tag map. If the connection origin ID We gotta be careful here. These are location objects. ID is a UUID value that's null. Yeah, I think that's the only case that matters. Is map ID. Specifically map data UUID, which can't be null. And then why is this no. I don't want to replace it with that. Because it's less readable. This also can't be null. ID can't be used as a setter because it's final. Oh, damn it. Doesn't have to be, though. Oh, but then you're not cost. Do we care? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so putting it in here is going to come with wrinkles, right? We can also replace it, I suppose. Like with a new object. Like, I just don't want to have it in the file, right? Because that just makes it harder to read the file. There's redundant data stored. This I joined live, so what are you doing? Can I get context? I'm working on the editor, map editor. So this is how you build the map for a mud game. You have tags for the exits so that you can know it's how you navigate, right? So if it has the tag east, then you can go east. If it has a different tag, you can use that tag to use that connection out of the room. Because maps connect together, we have the ability to remove a tag completely from the possible set of tags because the maps connect together. I haven't fixed that. I'm working on that. You need to know if you're going to delete a tag if you're going to break other connections. So that's what we're working on. But I don't need this information, I don't think. So that adds wrinkles, which it's surmountable, right? But I don't need that information to do what I want to do. What I really want to do is know I want a string that has the map name in it. I want to know because we do have that. It is populated either with the file name or a proper name, depending on what you've done. I want to know the source or the origin. We can use location and the destination. That's all well and good. And then I'm also going to want to know the list of tags that it has. I think. But then how do we display? We also want to know, that's what we do. The tag that's conflicting, that's causing this decision to need to be made. That's what we need. Okay. So we're going to throw away that. We do need a map name. It's just kind of no way around it, right? In fact, none of this makes any sense without all of these parameters. You just got to give them all to me. And we're only doing this with one tag at a time, so we can do that. That's what I'm thinking. And then yeah. You're a problem right now. There we go. Yeah. So text for now will be fine. Just let's put them on the screen and then we'll start making them good, right? So a text with and this is all in a row. Yeah, that's fine. This connections, locations, do you have a string? You do have a string. Good. Text destination. Ooh, I can't type to string. There we go. Text, and then here we're gonna need a row within the row. For string t in tags. We do a text for t right now. Okay. So this should give me. Why don't you give? Oh, because I'm passing you the wrong thing still. You haven't updated. I need to build these guys and take. And let's call you that. And then you are now. Can I just get away with this? I think I can. I can. Some weeks I find it hard to focus and carry out projects. It's crazy that you can stay focused on all the stuff you need to do in streaming as well. I mean, it's hard. It is hard. It kind of ties back into the 1 hour per day method, right? Where it's just an extension of that, where like I've promised in the form of having a schedule that I stick to, I promised you guys that I'll be here, right? And I just don't let myself break that promise without good reason, right? It's also crazy you can understand what's going on with all that nesting. Well, you watched me like reacclimate to Dart just a minute ago, where I forgot everything I knew and was very confused. It's just practice. And you're right. One of Flutter's problems is that everything is so freaking nested. Absolutely. That's actually something they called out in Cogent as something they were trying to improve on. But well, Cogent just isn't ready yet. So we know what's up there. Now, for this in map of controllers, I want this to be conflicting connections. I don't know. This isn't a great name. We're going to stick with it for a second, though. What did I call you? I got to go over here first. Conflicting connection widget. Should probably rename that too. But we'll get there. Action model Dart. Wait, what? Oh no. I messed up. I messed up big time. This got renamed because I screwed up. This is supposed to stay connection data. That's going to break this. Nope, didn't. Okay, good. Yikes. That was almost a disastrophe. Okay. Now, we go through each of our maps, and instead of doing this, we go through the connection daters. And I'm also going to end up needing a different thing. We're going to need like an ID. In the map controller, get connection using tag of the one we're trying to get rid of. Like so. And then we need to make a new conflicting connection data widget. Conflicting connections, add this widget, right? And this widget needs some parameters. And I don't think I have. Yeah, add the required arguments for me. But do it in a way that isn't stupid. Map name will be MC map name. Origin is the D origin. Destination is the D destination. Why did I do that? Oh, connection data. Okay, let's rename that because it's bad. Con origin, con destination. Tags is con tags. Conflicting tag is my target tag. Okay, add that in there. And then here we get our listy list. Good, perfect. This should now display unless I'm missing something. There we go. Okay, so our toString here is not great. We'll have to fix it up, but that's okay. But we got our data in that we want to work with, right? This, like I said, was also going to need, because we'll have to call on the map controller. If we elect to delete this, we're going to need to call modify. Which might also be a prob. Get connection using tag, get tile. Update tile would take a full connection data. We can either What did we do over here in our tag controller stuff when in our form? Connection data form is going to end up doing a callback, right? This is origin, destination, intro, exit, spots, DCs, tags in here somewhere. Where did I just overlooked you. Tag widget. Tag widget here. Tag widget here. Where is my level 70 hunter? What? Dart seems nice. I mean, it's okay. I prefer it to JavaScript. That's for sure. By the way, how you doing there, Zit? Welcome back. So in here we do the tag edit modal, but on tag added, we do that. And then we also have the chips, and then on removal, current tags remove tag. And current tags is provided to us. So we're just working with that. Mongoose reminds me of the Burning Crusade. Well, yes. Yes. Looking for Chanter with Mongoose. We'll pay and have Mats and we'll tip. Might be way too old and niche of a reference at this point. No, I got it as soon as you put the context in there for sure. Burning Crusade was like peak WoW for me. Like I really liked vanilla. I didn't raid in vanilla. Like I kind of just played around and leveled, and that was fun. And I was fine. I was happy with that. But in WoW, in Burning Crusade WoW, I got really into heroics. Heroics were super fun. I only did part of Kara just because I didn't want to commit the time to being in a raid guild. I never liked scheduling my gameplay around other people's presence. But heroics were perfect. Yeah, okay, so current tags is what we manipulate in here, which is just going to come from the widget here, and it gets put into the form. So to think about that, we want to use we could put in the connection data. Like we already have access to it. We could do that. I was a little too young for TBC. I gotcha. It's when I was leveling, got more into Wrath rating. Gotcha. Yeah. I didn't even realize you're using Rust. This is dark. Yes, this is dark. Wrong tag. Oh, yeah, I forgot to update my tags. We started today doing the Rust book because I'm explaining or exploring rather some Rust. Let's fix that. Dart and Flutter. There you go. Good call. Yeah. Um Dart has garbage collection, right? Yeah, it's fine. Rust mentioned again, yeah. Yeah. Yes, Marco. It was mentioned. Yeah, it's fine. Like I was just saying, it's better. I like it better than JavaScript. It's got its weirdnesses and its oddities. Very important question. How do you feel about strawberry ice cream? Pretty good. Strawberry ice cream is one of those flavors that definitely benefits from the addition of chocolate chips. Nice take. Agree. Excellent. Like it's okay without them too. I'm pretty fond of strawberry as a flavor for things. It's enjoyable. You seem like a vanilla type of guy. Just heresy right there. Like why? All of these flavors, why would you want vanilla? Like I don't mind it in addition. Like if you want to talk some good stuff, you know, the little Ben and Jerry's, the little guys that come in like crazy made up name flavors that are sponsored by different people. Um, those, you know, they mix different flavors in and have cherries and stuff inside of them. I'm a fan of those in general. So I don't mind the addition of vanilla, but I don't like vanilla ice cream itself needs something more. I wouldn't turn it down because who turns down ice cream? But I would wish for more. Vanilla is good by itself. I mean, you're allowed to think that. I disagree, but you're allowed to think that. If I'm getting vanilla ice cream, it's because I'm making root beer floats, right? Yeah, great example. That's a great addition to a thing, or on top of like apple pie, right? I'd pour a whole jar of Nutella on a whole tub of ice cream right now. Why? Why not? Like, why would you? Why aren't you? Do it. Don't let your dreams be memes. Vanilla, I feel like gets shit on, but keep in mind, vanilla is a pretty rare bean on the grand scheme of the world, like a spice. I mean, yeah, and it's fine. It's just vanilla, right? You gotta spice it up a little bit. You're right. I'm gonna go chase my dreams. Do it. Get your tub of ice cream and your Nutella. Sure, we live in a world of culinary abundance. Let's be right. Do I love this approach? Do I like the way it's shaping up? Maybe. Maybe is the answer. It is absurd that I can order saffron from Amazon or something. I mean, you used to be able to order saffron from Amazon and get saffron. These days, you might not. You might get red colored sawdust. Amazon has really gone downhill. And should that happen to you, it'll be a miserable time trying to get it replaced because their customer service also sucks now. True, right? That's a major problem in general. The Smarter Every Day, I think, was the channel. They tried to make a grill scraper entirely in America and struggled. And I think they caved on the chainmail for the actual scraper part because the apparently the wire grill scrapers can leave little wire grill bristles in on your grill, which end up in your food, and then you eat them, and it's very bad for you, as you might expect, to have a sharp little metal splinter in you. Uh, so they wanted to make the chainmail kind that scrubs the grill clean without that. And I think they couldn't find anybody with the chainmail pads that could make them. So they ordered some, and I think they were specifically trying to get it not from China at least, just because that's like the challenge, right? Um, so they wound up getting it from India, but found out that it was actually just resold from China. Like, there's a huge labeling and just like fraud in the supply chain problem that's creeping up on us. When people realized Amazon doesn't care about moderation, that's when shit really hit the fan. Yeah, you cannot escape China, right? And that was kind of like part of the point of the product and the experiment was to make a thing in America, but also to show that like it's actually really hard to make things, and that all of the skills and the tooling and all of the capacity to do those things are no longer here. It doesn't exist anymore. We ensured that for ourselves by disincentivizing it to continue existing, right? Okay. So I'm okay with building a widget here, but need to encode the old information. I could do a callback because we already need to know which map controller to address with this. That wouldn't be terrible. And because I have the connection data here, I can put that into the callback. And then this widget, this all is just UI stuff, which makes sense. So you need an optional callback. You'd call you on delete, that's fine. And then in here, after we do our list of tags, we can do an icon button and the on pressed here. And this is actually going to need to be provided with a string. So that on pressed, oh, except we got to do this on the tags. Well, no, we have conflicting tag. I wonder if fake AI products are getting pumped in Amazon as well. I believe so. I've heard about that more with Temu. But I would be not at all surprised if Amazon is also starting to get it. Um, so we can call that if you're not null. We do need to be careful of that. This order, please. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And then our icon is an icon that is icons dot trash delete. What are you called? Delete. If we did that, then we get our example here. We got to clean up this output. I mean, this isn't terrible. Yeah, because we're deleting the tag itself, so both of them should show up. Yeah, that's correct. I'm having to hook up custom fan controls to overclock my fan speed because of how hot the weather is. Guess I'm embedded deaf now. My computer's melting. That's unfortunate. I'm looking at 50 degrees Celsius on the GPU and 40 on the CPU right now. So it's a little warm, but not unreasonable for streaming and stuff. There's video encoding happening. And I don't know. I should actually take a break here in just a second and stretch out. I've been going for I don't even know how long again. And I'm starting to feel the butt-itis settle into my butt. So let's do that. Let's take a quick break and stretch out, and then we'll kind of continue. I think this is good, actually. We just need to clean up this. I think we'll be okay. I'm at 90 rookie. Are you using a laptop? Because that's a big difference. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right. I feel better. I'm still like sore, I think, after yesterday when I stood up, like after stream, because I just powered through, right? I didn't even notice. After stream, I stood up and walked around. I was just like, oh gosh, cramps. Okay. So yeah, okay. This is probably okay. We just need to give it the thing now. Idea for your IRC server: host a web IRC client. So you already think there actually goes something. Well, it goes to something. It's just not an HTTPS endpoint. I thought about it, but it's just time. It's just time. Um, and maybe we'll like do have a day. I gotta be careful about like logging in and stuff, and servers are a lot of stuff to but possibly leak. And invite malice, which I don't want. But maybe we'll have like a try to figure out a way to do like a server things day or something. I have to think about that. Um, Clear connection also needs to do that. Okay. Oh yeah, clear connection needs to worry about cleaning up stuff because we don't have that yet. We don't have in. Uh, we'll do that. We need a cancel button there too as well. But here we have nothing that tells us that something connects to you when actually our test entrance room does. So we need to finish that as well. That's a thing. But for now, I probably don't want an icon button there. Probably want to do something else. Um, this should probably be like a table, a data table, perhaps. Um, I want to do that. Yeah, it should be okay. One would think. Columns is required, and so is rows. And memory serves. Columns would be the header data. So map. No, you're not. You're not a text. Oh, you're a data column. That's right. With a label. And I also need to do there's a sizing thing. I'll have to look at the docs. But it'll be map, name, um, origin, destination, and then tags is what we'll do. Take you out for now. And then my rows, I need to do. Oh, but you're this in the way that's conducive to that. Silly me. That would be up here. But yeah, I can't do that. But you do take a list of the widget. I don't know that this is what I really want to do, though. I'm questioning if that's gonna display in a way that I like, right? Because it's gonna be very, I mean, tabley, data tabley. And I don't necessarily want those lines in there and all that stuff. I might just want them to be a list like they are. We've got them in a row. This is still going to go away, though, for now. Because I'm pretty sure I don't want that. Um, but I guess this could return. I can also think this through a little bit better. Because origin display, I mean, that's fine for a debug string, but we don't necessarily want that. What if instead we started with the origin location, not location, point to string, and we just did a string that has that on, and then not that, and we said it was on that to destination point on. And so here is where this breaks down. We would need this to be encoded for us already. Like this. So that we get the names of the maps out of there. But that only works if they're actually on a different map. And in that case, why are we even doing this? When we could do this. That's not going to import. That's actually my. Did I call it point? Maybe I didn't call it a point. Maybe I called it a coordinate. I did. That's fine. Um, and just make it really explicit as to what we're passing in. Like so. And then here that. Here that. Um, this will need a little bit more refining, but origin name is this. Origin point is the connection. Origin point. So here we need. We can tell that this is this. Because origins live, or yeah, connection origins live on a tile. That's there. The destination point, not destination point. What? Why can't I? Yeah, you're right. Why are you giving me crazy IntelliSenses? So if the destination point is not null, no, not point, ID. Like it's already going to complain, right? Yeah, I can't do that in Dart. I'd have to either do it in a different place or I can do a turn. If it's not null, then destination and then call map name on it. This is not null because we checked it, and you're not null either. Otherwise, for now, we can be null. Well, an empty string, right? No, no. I can't do that. Because you. Or no, if it's null, then it's just map name. The MC map name. That. Con destination. Oh, I forgot an ID there. I probably need to parens you. Yeah, you can't be null. Because the receiver can be null. Oh, okay, yeah. That can't be. It's not allowed. There we go. And then destination is my destination. Okay. Like that. And then okay, yeah. That's a little bit more reasonable. we I want to get this duplication out of there, and we need spacing and stuff there too, but bum, 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 bum. We can do that. Just do like 10. And then here and also have some spacing. I probably want to do put them like underneath maybe, because we're going to want to be able to highlight this so it needs to be displayed differently, and then have a control. Well, I could just say that you're deleting the tag, so they're going to be removed from here, basically, right? So we'll need to put text in there that says that for sure. And maybe these don't need buttons. We do need to say that you're not allowed to delete if it's the only tag, though, as well. And we could do that in like an error box, or we could just not allow you to and communicate that here. Like, it's cool if you want to delete this, but you need to give this thing a different tag first. And see, there's bad UX. If I'm then going to make you unwind all of this, open a different map to change this thing. You should be able to change it here. You need to be able to add a tag from here. Like if you happen to know the tag you wish to add. So let's do, instead of a row here, let's do a column. In both places, actually. And if we line you to the start, I guess spacing can still be a good thing. You're still aligned funky because of this. Because of you is where you need to be instead. So we can do that. And you'll still be a pain. And I think it's because you actually need to be in a row so that it grows. I think I could do that in either way, but let's just do it this way for now. Still not what I want. Oh, hang on. Take this out of here for a second. May have made and Mishtaki. There we go. Get you back to where you were. Um, the children would need to be in a row. Oh, no, no. No, no. That has to be a column still. But aligning you won't work because the width isn't set. You don't grow in width. Unless I do this. No. Yes, there we go. Now they'll grow to the width and orient themselves correctly. And this whole thing grows to the width of the line, which should only be like this, but that should be okay. Because we set the main axis size min on the column, and just by default, that's going to be how it wants to size the row, I believe. Okay. And also, let's do we can do it in the build here. And we can do something a little better. If we do this, if they're on the same, if they have the same name, then we can say that the tile description is origin point to string to destination point to string on map name, origin name. Otherwise, we'll say that we equal. Let's actually flip this around. Origin name. And then origin point to string to destination name, destination point to string. And then replace this with what we've built conditionally to be nicer to read. Maybe. Issues found. Where? What issues? What do you talk about? You talk about the fact that I forgot a semicolon. There we go. And then I forgot to actually call that, so it got crazy. There we go. I like that better. I like this worse. what if we did that? So it'd be gym 20 to 10. That's decent. We need to throw some spacing back in here. I guess we have some. It's between. It's up here. This is where we need some spacing for these guys. So between the two. Let's just throw in a 15 maybe. That's pretty good. This thing needs to end up being scrollable. Because if you have many, like you probably don't want to do this, but also like you need to display it so you can look at it at least. Let's continue our layout though, because our this is looking great. These are not. We have the tag edit widget. Could try to reuse that, but that only works with lists. I don't want to muck with that really. The main problem is I don't know how I want this to look. I don't have a good conception of how to make this easy to understand and to work with. Um, like hmm. Like I could do the chips thing again. I don't think I love that idea though. We'd have to change if we did if we just reused the same widget. We'd have to disable the edit because you're already in the edit. Like we don't want you to end up in a loop. Which is I mean surmountable, right? We could extract the chip widget and just use that directly. But I do want you to be able to add. I want you to be able to see the other tags that you have on there, just so you know, like what sort of things are already here. Like we can colorize the one in question for sure. Not a problem with that. But but. Hmm. Maybe give you like a button, just like at the bottom, like a little plus button or something. Um, like a floating action button. We need to give that a thing, but as a child, yes, child for you. Um, add a new tag. And then uh, you have an icon thing, I thought. Maybe not. Whatever. Use something like this. We need a row around you so that you can be correct in your layout. Um, I don't know that I love that either. We could put it up here. I don't think I like the floating action button for this, but I'm gonna just noodle around and see like what feels better to work with. So if we did it there, we could do space between. No. Sorry, wrong place. So that these guys go live over there, and then we'd also give them just like a little bit of spacing inherently. That way things line up. And then we probably want less spacing here if we were to do that. Um, but I'll also I make this a row instead. I don't need that. Put space between you. That's fine. Then we have something like that. If instead of a floating action button here, I was to do like an icon button instead, you get an icon with like a plus icon. We can do something like that. And something like that. That would break this, but we can fix that. We just wrap. You into your own little row. Oops, that button, that button. I could make this a filled. Get rid of that. And do a tooltip instead. And is there there isn't like a small. I could make you smaller though, I think. I believe that's allowed. Um I can do like a text style here. Color rather. Actually I want to do no, I'm good. I'm good. I can do this. And we want to do like a theme of the context. Color scheme, yeah, color scheme. Error, let's just say. But this is if t is equal to conflicting tag, then we do that. I can't do null. It might be easier to do this way. Textile theme of context, color scheme, error. It's supposed to be color. And then the T, otherwise it's just text with T in it. And that'll give us an indication of the thing that'll go away. I think the only thing I don't like about this is those big old icons, actually. I think the rest of it's pretty good. Maybe instead of putting this here, we wouldn't need the row anymore anyway. Instead of putting this button here, what if we put it at the end of here? And then we didn't do a fill, we just did a regular icon button. Like so. That's like more intuitive, right? To where like I can add a thing here somehow. And then if we did, we put these things to kind of help separate them and show that they're a thing to interact with or something like that, you know, kind of give that vibe. Tile description, Inkwell? Yeah, Inkwell. Child of the row. And we need to material. Is it just material? To get that to work? Make it a material widget? Yes. Okay. And then this actually doesn't need to be a row. This needs to be a flexible. No. What is the child? Oh, right. I can't do what's the flexible row? Flutter row that will wrap that. Wrap? Do I just wrap you in a wrap? No, you are a wrap, right? Right. I'm gonna check it before I read. There we go. That should be fine. We'll need around y'all. Oh, I guess we could probably put it wrapped here. Just to give them a little bit of a little room to breathe. Symmetric. Now, also, it's kind of put my stuff in a wonky place. How was rest? It was pretty good. We made it through another chapter of the book, despite all the distractions. But I wanted to get back on this so that we can also continue pushing this forward because I want to get this branch finished up because that will be a better place to set it aside if we need to. How is Terrace? Um, as you said, symmetric, horizontal. There's the word I'm looking for. Horizontal. Let's just be like 15. That gives a decent little bit of breathing room. We need, however, cross alignment. Moving all my assets from Chase and Schwab to Fidelity. Feeling excited? Cool. Glad you're excited. That must mean it's a good thing. This should. Ooh, I can't do that. Wrap cross alignment. Wrap alignment. Ooh, okay. Cross alignment center. That way, y'all live there. Probably need to have a bunch more things in here to better test this. But I'm reasonably happy with how it's starting to kind of shape up. Let's put a little bit more spacing back in here. That's better. You need to go into a column. Or actually, you might be able to be in a row. Because we need you to fill that so that you can start at the start, but also, and this might blow up in my face, I want this row to fill its width. Yeah, that blows up because of the other stuff. So we'd have to rethink this a little bit. I can't just expand it. You can I? I don't think I can. Don't think that's allowed. But it is. Okay. Groovy. So you can do something like that. The other thing we could do, I don't know if I want to though. We could do like this is a row with a wrap and then push this off to the side. I think I like it here though. And like as you add things, it'll always be the last thing. So it really just stays here at the end to make you like cognizant of the fact that you're allowed to add things here. Let's go with that. Okay. So. Oh. Now the rest of it. We have to decide. So either they immediately add things or we do something else with it. Like we make a list in this widget and display that list, and then only on an okay are your changes submitted. Which kind of sounds nice, even though it's more work. It would fit the pattern we've kind of established thus far. where we don't normally make changes to anything without a confirmation, right? And if we're going to do that, we should, I guess either way, we should also allow you to remove this, anything you add in here, and edit. Crap. Um, what happened to Rust? Nothing. We did a chapter of the Rust book, and then we moved back to this project so we could make some progress on this today. Because yesterday we did 8 hours of Rust. And we do need to get this branch finished up and figure out how we want to handle this stuff. Um, and basically, if we do this, we kind of just end up rebuilding this. Except we don't have all the plumbing. So we do have to extract stuff further. Or we end up basically rebuilding our tag editor. But slightly different because this needs to be able to display which tags should be going away. Setting the tags is fine because we did all that work in the map controller to where we just say, this is the state I want it to be. And the map controller figures out what it needs to do to make that happen for us and manage all this list and everything, which is really nice, right? That's why we did that work, basically. Yeah. That's definitely a conundrum. we do build it kind of different. And then so if we allow you to remove the last tag, then that room is just not, that exit, that connection is not usable. It won't appear in the game. And that's a problem. It also, it'll appear in the editor, I think. But it also might not because of the filtering we did based on tags. Like, yeah, it'll be broken there because we filter based on tags to decide what to show you for the connections back here. So we just really can't allow you to have no tags. It's not valid for the game. It's not, it makes the editor more difficult to work with. You would still see it on the tile, but it's problematic, right? Um, Hmm. Well, let's sketch in some more things while we kind of think about that. That's a chunky subject. Um, so we've got our column, we got space between. We're also gonna need a row here. For the other stuff. Except the callbacks live over here, and maybe they can't. Maybe we need to move this widget around. So keep bumping into that problem. Um, but that ties into like how do I want to do this basically. We do know that we're going to want to row main axis alignment on this actually would be the end so that it'll live off to the right, and then we can do a floating action button. We'll leave you blank for now. Child or boop 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 child text cancel and another right missing a paren. Um, same deal. We'll leave you empty for now. And then okay. This will need like 25. A little room to breathe. This actually will need like I don't know 30. That's pretty decent. And I think traditionally we actually probably want this to be flipped. So that like cancel is the one you automatically accidentally autopilot click, right? And okay is more deliberate. We would need we could extended these. It changes this because reasons. And get a little bit more room so they don't feel so squashed. And then for our cancel, what is your styler? Foreground background color. Background color, theme of context, color scheme, error container. Gives us that. And then the foreground color. Theme of context, color scheme, on error container. Just to make it a little. Not gonna have a ton of effect in this, but it'll make it a little red. we would also need to include um this. So like we can have our column in here, that's fine. But this needs to be here so for the space between layout stuff to work, right? So that should change nothing, and it's changed nothing, but I should then be able to insert here a hello world, and it does indeed appear there. I'm gonna take this icon button on pressed out of here and put this into my cancel. Because we do know what it should do. It should just say take us out, right? Context can be canceled, sure. And then we don't need that. And then we need a row only for the sake of positioning there. Then it's gone. Our cancel's here now. Cool. Love that. Your space between. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Um, we do that. We need to give this a little bit of room between, which is fine. Um, down here, I don't know, like 50, just to kind of give it a separation up there. And then also, we want to align to the start on the cross axis so that it goes over like a text box should. And then we would be able to say the following connections uh following connections use the tag you wish to delete. Removing this tag will also remove them from. Actually, yeah. Let's do that. Removing this tag will also remove it from the following connections. Removal is not possible if this is the only tag on a connection. Am I allowed to do that? No, I'm not allowed to do that. Am I allowed to do this? Yes. Okay, perfect. Something eyeball, and now it's sweat. Um, uh, That might go someplace else. We'll see how it shapes up. Um let's cut that down like half. It's all right. It's pretty good. Um hmm. Unfortunately, I'm still not sure how I want to handle this removal bit. I guess I mean I can go through. Well, no, I can't. Because we don't build this widget in here. I mean, we could change that. We could build this widget in here for sure. But we built it out here because this is where we have access to the things such as the map name in maps that we aren't in the connection here. Um, well, you know what? Maybe I just don't need to worry about adding things here. Well, yeah, it would suck, but I guess part of the suck is the fact that this is the only place that the tag editor lives right now, and we should give it its own screen as well. Like we can make it accessible from both places. That's not a problem. Um, and we should actually have most of the widgets in place to do that correctly. So it's kind of a thing we thought of from the beginning. Um, but at the same time, like you have the ability to add tags globally here and to rename them if that's your jam. And maybe you can have enough thoughts about what you want to do from here. We still have the problem, though. Let's get you out of here. We'll need to add some padding there so that those don't look so bad like that. That's fine. Probably like a little less of that. And maybe, well, that's gonna be problematic. Um uh no, I'm good at the moment. Thanks though. Appreciate it. Um hmm. Like this is just it's such a simple case, it's hard to judge. Like we would need a bunch of test data to really see if this UI holds up correctly, and we should do that. But for now, is there a way for me to get like how do we get I think we've been down this before and it's not documented well. It doesn't show us how to get the result to say what we should opt to do here. State restoration. Dialogue. I don't know why you have a second comment in you. Um hmm. I feel like we've been down this path, but get return value from to dialogue. Value from dialogue in Flutter. Bup, 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 bup. Need to return the value when they're closing the dialogue. Oh, it would have to be async, which would end up. So if we await this, then you have to be async, which might be okay. But might also not be. So we might have to. That seems okay. Um Well, this isn't correct either, though. It'd be a string, right? Um, and then I believe it would be string, because here context cancel versus okay. Um, uh, 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 uh. What's the or the print statement in Flutter? Not printing. It is just print. Oh, I put you in the wrong place. That's why. Duh. No wonder I'm confused. There we go. So if I do this, let me stop this so that we can reload the console and clear out whatever might have been in there. May or may not. We go in here. We'll go to gym. It doesn't really matter where we go. We just need to get in here. Edit. And I click cancel. Okay, yeah, that does come back. Cool. So then I don't need to give it a callback if I'm doing this. I just need to go back through my list on on a confirm. Remove the tag from all the maps slash connections. Otherwise, nothing. We can print this. Just for our sanity. Oop. What precious little there was of it, right? This would actually just not exist. That's okay. So oops. Oh, I closed you. Go back into here. Do this. Portal. I forgot to return there. So operation canceled. Because I didn't put this in here. I would just need to navigator dot pop context. Okay. Seems like there should be a better way to do that. Part of that better way would be to spell it correctly. Am I allowed? Perhaps. This has, yeah, type result. So I should be able to actually do. So tag would be removed. I should actually be able to hear. Do a bool. And do that. Right? In theory. Okay. Tag would be removed. Cancel. Operation canceled. Okay. So that would be fine. And in fact, we could just do that. We have 2 calls here if we do that way. What I should do is actually flip that on its head. If not confirmed, just return. Right? Um, oh, except for that becomes a problem. I can't do that. And I can do like a parent bool or something, but also I need to remove this from all of these connections. And we need to wire up the controller to do that, which is fine. Um, we also need to make sure we don't allow this if there's only the one, right? So that we can probably do here in this. Except for now I should be able to go through this widget. Right? For this widget. No, because you're a widget. This is going to be a problem. I can't just do this, can I? Maybe I can't. Um, I guess it would be less than or equal to 1. Right? No. Because that'll give us a false positive. We need to actually check. Um, if that tag is the one, right? So we'd have to filter. Would exist without the target tag. Could do that. And then disallow the OK click if one would exist. So I could do that. A thing within ye olde realm of possibility, right? I feel like there should be a better way to display that information, though. If this was a long list, and maybe there is, maybe we can just set it like a background color on the name or something. Maybe that would be okay. It would help it stand out, right? That's my thought. And also possibly maybe the whole thing could be highlighted red. Like we could do a container that optionally has a background color. The possibilities exist and are intriguing, right? We also need to handle the fact that this is in a row, but it's going to need to be scrollable if it gets huge, which is kind of like what we did over here. We got a really good chunk of progress here, though. I'm going to go ahead and commit this. Let's. Oh, hang on. We don't want to. Oh no, we added portal to you. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It'll be useful for us to test if we just go and commit that temporarily. And tags already has it. That's fine. App state got some things. Map controller got some things. Ba 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 ba. Consider connections. That's hard. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Get a alert dialogue. Roughed. in for calling out that we have connections will be modified if tag delete is accepted. We'll push that up to yield swerver. That sure is a thing. Is a thing indeed. Yeah, let's do that really quick. I hope it won't completely hose my plans. You're a column there. I think I can just replace this. Well, I don't want to replace it. I want to make it scrollable. But then I gotta that's not it. It's single child scroll. That's what you are. And then this is missing. Oh, yeah. Duh. Because that's a list. I'd have to do that. And that seems to be okay. We need to put this on many things so that we can get a good check. Of what that would look like. And I think we could do if we replace this with this, followed by portal, and then a comma. I think it's a cheeky. I think the formatting's busted, but I don't care. We need to restart so that it'll reload the maps. Is it files? But then by coming here, aged portal. Yes, good. And then I delete portal. Okay. So we got work to do. This scroll view did not correctly do what I thought it was going to do. Let's take it out. It may need to go. No, that would be where it has to go. Why didn't it work? Why didn't you do the needful? Your column. Axis vertical. This grows like it's supposed to. It just doesn't scrolls like it's supposed to. It's gonna have to do with and I can't just scroll view. Yeah. Gonna have to do with the nesting, I think, and the fact that this doesn't have a scroll to begin with. I bet. Um, but maybe I'm also using this incorrectly. Bum 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 bum. Single child scroll view. Oh, I could also do a list view. Didn't think about that. Because I do all the building of the widget inside of the widget itself anyway, like its layout. This may be the smarter answer anywho. So instead of this list view, which needs to have an item count, right? So they're saying list view separate. I do want separated. Name parameter item builder. Yeah, okay. Item count is conflicting connections length. That's true. Item builder is what I need. Build context is context, and int index is a thing. This needs to return container should be okay with and child, which is my conflicting connections at index. Right? What have I messed up? Everything in the world? My bad. Can't be assigned to the parameter nullable indexed widget builder. You would need that, but that's not going to be the whole of my troubles. So you separated. They've got padding. That's fine. We'll not worry about that. Item count. Item builder. Build context. Oh, duh. Stupid. Separator builder is required. Okay. Because I need to also give it. I need to tell it what my separator should be. And they've gone in here with constant of divider. Is divider a thing? A divider is a thing. Okay, cool. I could just borrow that. Forgot to do that. That's going to be that because it's a return. And then we overflow because it's not support returning intrinsic dimensions. Let's make sure this isn't like a hot reload issue really quick. I don't think it is. I think that is a problem. Yeah. Maybe that's why scroll wasn't working too. And the box is not laid out. Has signs. And it's because of all the nested things we have is the problem. But Can we be more cleverer? think I think we'd have to do away with this and do this. That might not work because it's in an alert dialogue. This could be a problem. um Render viewport does not support returning intrinsic dimensions. Is still, if we did, so like we have a layout builder here. We can wrap it in a container with a height of constraints max height, right? That's a thing that should be doable. It's still, however, what if we put you into the container? Because you're the one that has the problem. You're the one who's not sure how big you're allowed to be. It still doesn't support returning intrinsic dimension. How do we tackle this in our edit mode? Because you're scrollable. You're not a list view, but you're scrollable. Single child scroll view. We just put you in there. And we may have to go that route. And just kind of give up on the small box idea. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's fine, right? It would have been kind of nice if it only filled as much space as it needed. But like filling the screen is fine. I don't know what you're mad about. Shouldn't be mad. Why you have to be mad? It's only a game. Yeah, now you're not mad because I fixed you. And we just constrained you in a sized box as it was. And like we can do the same thing here. Say, hey, height. And we'll do the same. Max height by the 100. I made you 70% height. Sure, we'll stick with that. Width, we're just going to let it be. Um, except, yeah, no, that's fine. Let's reload to be sure we get all the new. Oh, no, something failed because I forgot. I've got a mismatched. I need another of these. Nope. Hang on, where are we at? Size box, you need to be at the end. That makes sense. Um, so that we do that. That's fine. It pops up over it. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. We might be able to, because we've given you a size box, can we maybe put this back in? I don't think so, but yeah. Um, so we did this over here. And we can go back. And I believe we did this over here because actually I don't need that. Because of the layout. Just sort of the way things had to be. But you still don't scroll. Even though that. And I think column, space between. I think we need to expand it eyes. Not you. I don't know if I can expand you. Because you need a flex parent. I don't know if that's a flex parent. Incorrect use of parent data. Yeah, you're not. So we can do this in a different way. Instead of this, I think over here, child is a column, right? Same as we done here. Then we did a row though, just because of reasons. The children of this are expanded, but that's within the row. But then we expanded the middle. And I think we need to do same thing here. We would need to expand you. And I don't know if we can do container. Non-zero flex, but incoming height constraints are unbound. Because we also. Oh no, we have a row there too. Put you into a column or a container rather. But that was so that we could have the background. You're in a size box, you're in a size box with a height. Height constraints are unbound. Size box has a column child, same way we did this way. We did a row though inside of here, and maybe that's my problem. Do I need a row just so that you consume space, basically, in a better way, a more flexible way? Um, no. Incoming height constraints are unbound. And you guys don't do anything. Oh, never mind. Hang on. I did expanded you. I bet you this is the one. If we don't do this. No, that still does it? Okay. Put it back then. You're a column. I'm missing something here. Let's double check. Column. We did a row, but that should be okay still. You have children, we immediately expand though. I don't think that makes sense, but it works. Okay. Because this makes you fill up your available space. So we have the main column here. Inside of it, we have an expanded column here that holds the text and then this thing. This thing gets expanded out so it's scrollable. I don't know that I need expanded here. Let's try and get rid of it. No, I do. Okay. Because then it overflows. Because expanded does weird things, right? Expanded makes you think bigger, but expanded also makes you bigger within the constraints of your parent, which tells the parent what size to be. Flutter is weird like that. Okay, so that's better, right? We probably need a little bit of space, and I need to tell this to shut up because you're not overflowing anymore. We fixed it, but you're gonna keep bugging me because that's how you be until I redo that. Like so. Okay. We did lose our spacing along the way, but we can bring that back. Oh, we have 15, I think, between them. Yeah. I might go even a little bit, like, I don't know, 25. Yeah. What if we get crazy and do the full 30? That's the best, yeah. That gives it, that's good. Gives it a little visual distinctness. Okay. And then if I was to delete this, it would remove it from my tag list, but not from the map. So things would be broken. So we won't do that just yet. But actually, let's commit that. Um, make the list of connections that use a tag being deleted scrollable if there are enough scroll. I can go up. Okay. Um, yeah. Yeah. All right, I need to stand up, stretch out. I'll be right back. All right. So I feel pretty good about that actually. Let's do this. Let's do the let's do the red background. And we can test this. Let's just throw it. We have an inkwell. Ooh, but I can't do. Let's not do an inkwell. Let's just do a container, which means we won't need the material, I don't think, widget anymore. Less nesting, good, right? Just general rules. And then I can do color here. And I can still do context, color scheme, container, surface container. What did we do over here? We did it over here, probably for the same reason. Container, surface container. Yeah, that's the correct one. So that looks the same. Now, we can change this to be we have the tag. They won't be in here if they don't have like if they're only they won't be in here if they don't have the tag that we're trying to get away with, right? To do away with. If we subtract that tag, the length should be greater than 1 of whatever they have in there, which means that if the length is less than or equal to 1, I guess we could just do equal to 1. Doesn't matter. Theme of, context, color scheme, error container, let's just say. Otherwise, it's that, right? So this still shouldn't change anything. Cool, perfect. Oh, except for this is going to be just this. And I don't want just that. That's okay, though. Hang on 1 second. let's just throw a 2 in there for testing purposes. So that would be where it looked like. I don't know that I love that, but let's fix this up first before we continue on. This, nope. This whole thing, take out so that we can put back, restore that to what it just was. We can still use the inkwell. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm fine. We'll put this container around the row itself. It's no longer a child. It is the thing. Its child is the row. Bang in an extra closing paren there. No, it still has to go higher than that. So that gives a little funky nip there. I have made a mistake. You come back here. You need to go around the whole column because this is the internal widget there, right? Which means that one of these needs to come out here. Like so. And then that'll give us that. I think I'm okay with that. Like stylistically, I don't like this color. We've made it a little light. Oh, that's way too bright. It's the other one. I think it's not in color scheme. I always forget. I use it for text a lot. Maybe it is just here. Maybe it is just error. Yeah, it's all right. I don't love it though. It's too much. It's just, either way, it's just too much color. Like we could fix the contrast with the text. That wouldn't be a problem. It's just it's too much color. We could also though do so we've got our tile description here. And then here we can say the length of tags is 1. And we'll set it to 2 for testing. Then we do a text. Connection will have no valid tags after removal. Removal not. Oh, possible. Well, I want to keep it short and sweet. I want it to fit in the rest of this line. Connection would have no valid tags after. How about that? Otherwise, it's null, which means we can do that, right? No. What is it? What is it meant? I need to do this. I think I'm allowed to do this. Maybe. Thought I was allowed to. Oh, I'm just missing a comma. Yeah, I am allowed to do that. Okay. So that would be like that. And I'm okay with that, actually. That's pretty good. We still have our leftover space between and spacing. We can get rid of spacing. We'd probably want to put a little padding on the right-hand side, maybe, so it doesn't get eaten like that. Or we can get rid of that and instead go back to just having some spacing. I like that, I think. Except for this case would make it problematic. Let's not just throw it away just yet. Text style. The color theme of context. Color scheme error. Might be too much. That's all right. It matches the other. It's a light enough thing. It's good. And if we were to switch it back, then they would all go away. We'll do that just for our continued testing purposes here. If we did, like, you're intended to be this big anyway. Oh, I think you're taking the height of that as a parent. Hang on. Perhaps I do not care about you being here. Now that we have fixed other things, you need that though. And that'll let you grow a little bit taller, but not wider. Oh no, I'm dumb. It's because I didn't give it a width. That's right. So it's just being as wide as it needs to be. That makes more sense. Let's go back to that. Sir, currently I'm learning JS as a new coder. Can you give me some advice from India? Advice about what? Like how to learn stuff? Build stuff. Build interesting projects. That's the best way to learn stuff. If you're looking for different advice, you'll have to specify what you're looking for. The other thing we could do, this is a row. If I made it instead a column, I guess we might still want some spacing there. No, that would be the same. That would all stay the same. And then we would need to process axis alignment start you to make sure you're not centered anymore, except for then you don't go row. And this is too big. We want like maybe 5. And I also want this actually to be first if it's displayed. We still have to put this in a row though, because we want this to be that's right. This, that. There we go. Like so. Love it. Everybody the way it grows to fill the available space, and then it puts it up there. I like that more. And we could actually do, see, we do that so they go away, and just like well, I guess I can't really do it. We would have to delete something to make it test case for it. For an example. We could actually, okay, hang on. Add a new tag that is named foo, of course. Duh. Why wouldn't it be? Okay. We add that and we can put foo on. We just make a connection. Oh, except for I don't have a room there. Now I do. And now I can add a connection. Oh, I got a bug there. Connection has no parent ID in connection table. Okay. Let me make a bug. Where are you? There you are. We're going to Volt to catch that. Fix it up. We're done with that for now. You. Okay, whatever. Shut up. Boog. Editor. Map. Um. Uh. Newly created room. Or with a newly created room. Adding connections from a template. Click /drag results in connection has no parent ID in connection table. Error. No, don't create an issue. Just do that. All right. All right. Bug for later. We'll track that down at some point. But for right now, it has been 6 hours. I need some lunch. And then, like I've been saying, I want to make some more time for games. So I'm going to go have some lunch really quick. And then we're going to play some games. We can either do Space Marine 2 again, or we can do some Dune. And I am kind of interested in getting into some Dune. So I'll think about that. And if you have thoughts on that yourself, throw it into chat. But let me check what's going on here. Before I run off there, it'll probably be like half hour, let's say. Give me a second to grab a bite and then I'll be back. For the Twitch side, we're gonna go ahead and raid out. Let's raid New Jank. New Jank is making a game kind of like Worms, if you've ever played that. But with little goblins and crazy stuff, and it's pretty cool. So we'll go say hello to Mr. New Jank here, and then I'll be back. You can look for the live notification. And yeah, if not, we'll catch you guys tomorrow because I do this thing for 4 hours at least a day, 4 days a week. So come on back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time. I'll be here and we'll do some little more Rust Book and then we'll do more of this and it'll be a good time. All right, thanks guys. Let's raid. And YouTube, have a great day.